Yeah, we're good to go, and it's 6 o'clock now, according to the chiming in my hallway. So this meeting we called, oh, Joe made it in time, so he's here. Let me get him hooked up. This is really a one-topic meeting. This is something that Jim had asked for some time ago, and then through whatever reasons, everything got squared away. But this is really about a couple of things that we need to talk about. Spending some money on fixing, repairing over at Oak Hills. And I'm going to let Jim tell everybody what that is, and we'll go from there. Okay, so Jim, I'm going to turn the show over to you. I've got, for my case, I've got a 6:30 stop, so this shouldn't go on any longer than that. So, all right.
Okay, so we all know where the old pro shop is, or at least most of us. We all know that it's pretty much been abandoned except for starters and the bathrooms. Okay, so we've had a couple guys work with us, starters, that have started the process of redoing the bathrooms. The ladies' room is done, and it looks quite nice. It's a lot brighter. It's a lot more sterile looking, shall I say. And they put some time into it. They redid the floors. Those have been scraped clean and repainted. They look nice. They also tried to repair a leak in the flat roof of that building. That the flat roof section is what's over the bathrooms. And I don't know if you remember Eddie's old tiny office, any of you, but there's a flat roof over a section of that building that has leaks, and they attempted to fix them. The attempts did not work. Currently, we have a blue tarp on the top of the roof to try to prevent leakage, but we don't believe that that's working, and it's already seeped into the ceiling of the ladies' room, and there's more work now that has to be done. Again, we have to redo it a little bit. It's not too bad yet, but like I said, it is still leaking. So honestly, the whole building needs a new roof, because I remember when that was inhabited by the pro shop, every time it would rain hard, there'd be areas of wetness around the chimney, in the very small room where the ladies used to have their handicap computer. So the pitched roof and the flat roof leak. The flat roof is important now because that portion of the building is used for the restrooms. And I had gotten a bid for both the flat roof and the pitched roof separately. We were thinking we would just do the flat roof right now until we can work out a use for the building. We have a couple of ideas, like a bag room or lockers, half lockers for people that we can rent out, we can charge, it'll be a source of income. Otherwise, we can pay a bunch of money to tear the building down. But the quote for the roof, the flat roof, and this company that I got a quote from is a flat roof specialist, and they use a special material, which I don't think too many flat roof guys use. I don't know if you can see that, but it's white, and they put it up there with some special compound, and they heat it together, and it lasts. I mean, it's probably as good as any timberline shingle you might put on the roof, if not better. They also plan on ripping out the plywood up there and adding like a 1/2-inch layer of foam insulation and a 1/2-inch layer of CDX plywood. They're going to put gutters on the ends that don't have gutters in order to take water where it needs to go. There are several spots of rot that they're going to fix. And when they are done, it's going to be sealed up quite nicely. So I think what we're looking for tonight is a vote on completing the flat roof portion of the repair at this time. before the season starts so that the ladies' bathroom is preserved. And that's kind of my spiel. So if there's any discussion, any questions.
So this is just a partial fix, Jim, you're saying it wouldn't solve all the problems?
No. The pitched roof, if I remember correctly, when we left the building, the pitched roof had a couple of small leaks that if we didn't tear down that building, if we started to use it for something else, eventually we will have to replace that portion of the roof. And I got the quote on that right now. It was pretty close to what the flat roof was. Let me just open up.
I mean, the bottom line is that eventually that building's either going to have to be major league rehab, which will be expensive, or we decide that we'll just get rid of the building.
Right.
And take it down, which that won't be cheap either, but we keep spending good money after bad. To answer your question, but boy, there's two issues with that building right now. There's a blue tarp that's across the roof, which has done okay, I guess, in keeping some of the water out. But we can't open up the season with a building that's got this blue tarp hanging off of it. It's going to look a little crappy. The other thing is that we already spent money, as Jim said, to take care of the ceiling in the ladies' restrooms. And that wasn't cheap, but it worked okay for a while. Now with this leak going on, it's going to start damaging what we've already spent money on to repair. And not only is that a problem, but there's also mold that's starting to form in there. And it's going to smell like mold in the bathrooms. And it's also probably not a good idea to have a public facility that has mold growing in it.
Right.
Well, are there any other bathrooms close by, or that's like one of the few options?
Well, it's not a question about the bathrooms. You have a men's bathroom and you have a women's bathroom. It's not set up to be a co-ed bathroom in either place, but so that, the bathrooms are relatively close there, but one's men's, one's women's.
So we're basically just trying to fix the leak so we can get rid of the blue tarp.
Now we're trying to fix the leak so that we don't have the ceiling that we've already fixed fall in.
Yeah, but the blue tarp would be gone after doing what
Well,
Jim was
yeah,
talking
once the roof gets repaired, the blue
Yes.
tarp can go away. Yes.
So this is a long-term solution this time.
Well, depends on
Right.
what you're calling
And-
long term. Hopefully
and
it'll
that-
stop
Yeah,
it.
true.
It'll stop it from leaking in that part of the building.
This
Also, it
this
still
moment,
might
it
leak
kind of-
somewhere else.
This moment kind of forces the issue of deciding whether or not we're keeping that building also. So
Okay,
Yeah, I
see.
think, I don't think we have to make the decision of what we're gonna do with that building.
No,
But I
not
think
in
it-
this meeting, we
In
don't.
my opinion, it's important to keep the building because once
Right.
the building goes, all of a sudden there's gonna be a need for it. And then we're gonna have to build it from scratch. It's just like any sort of asset. So you can just preserve it. For now, I do think there could be uses for it. But if we don't do something now, then we've lost the building and we're gonna tear it down, whereas there's a cost to that anyway. And then we're gonna have, I don't know. To me, I think we need to get it done. I think there should be for over the next 10 months, some discussions over what we want to do with that building, or like 6 months as a group. But unless people really want to tear it down, I don't see any other option.
right.
Can I ask what the number is for the flat roof?
The flat roof is $7,780. The pitched roof is $6,880. And then at some point, once we do rehab that building to complete, we will need a boiler in there as well. But that's a small boiler and it's not necessarily it probably wouldn't cost as much as this roof costs.
Yeah.
And
So
are
what's
they
the total
shared?
we're voting on today?
The total we're voting on is to not spend more than, I would say, $8,000 to put a new flat roof on.
Okay.
Did we get multiple bids or just the one bid?
We did not get multiple. I could have easily, but I have dealt with these guys before on a flat roof over at the tennis building, They did a great job at a reasonable price. They were competitive in their pricing. And when we needed some service, they needed to come back, and they did without question and fixed it right away. So
This is probably one of the best roofing companies in the city.
as
They
far
paid
as flat roof, as far as flat roofs go, these guys are the authority on doing that kind of job.
And are they gonna guarantee their work for a certain period of time
Let me see.
in the event of?
I would imagine warranted for 20 years labor and material by GAF Diamond Pledge full system. That's
They're gonna
That's a
guarantee
pretty-
it for 20 years?
that's a pretty substantial warranty,
That's, yes, I
Right.
would not disagree with you.
right? So
Jim, what do you do about the mold? Is that something you want to take care of now, or is that something you want to
the
do
mold
later on, or what are you gonna do?
the mold that was there has been taken care of, removed, and replaced with new sheetrock. And currently, if we continue to let the leak go, I don't think that there's any mold in there actually right now. But if we let it go, I mean, of course there will be.
Well,
you
that
know.
would be a health department issue too, wouldn't it? I mean,
I
they
would-
come and
I would
make
think so.
it
I mean,
so you would need to make sure that gets taken care of.
right.
I think you have to fix the bathrooms. I mean, they're awful. He did a nice job. All we
The
paid,
ladies' room is great. The ladies' room he did a
all we
great
paid
job.
for is expenses too, just expenses, building materials at the moment.
And I don't have the information in front of me. Did we budget this as part of a 2021 CapEx potential spend? I don't remember. I
No.
don't have it in front of me. No?
Well,
No, this is a surprise.
Okay.
well, the CapEx budget was set at $75,000,
Okay.
but without specific earmarks. So
Right.
kind of what we're doing right now is approving an appropriation. Appropriation of part of that $75,000 budget. Jen, I don't know if you were here when we did it, but we did this before when we said Jim needs, I can't remember was it the Sidewinder or the irrigation system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We approved appropriation of 19 grand, something like that, for the irrigation system. And that was out of the 75. So I guess what we'd be doing now is saying, I think there's about 35 or 40 left on the 75 that hasn't been appropriated and spent. We would be saying, okay, do we want to appropriate 7780? Do we want to appropriate the whole nut at 14,000? Exactly how do we want to do that? It's not clear to me what exactly the proposal is. It seems to me that if we're saying that building is a long-term asset for Oak Hills Park, and there are needs right now for the rest of the roof, the pitched roof, and we have a roofing company coming in, we might as well get the roofing job done so that there's no question about whether there will be a leak in the next year, 2 years, 4 years, right?
I agree.
Oh, there will be.
I agree. I agree. Is it the
20
same?
years, Carl, 20 years warranty.
Won't be my problem.
But I mean, the idea is, I mean, the reason they can give a 20-year warranty, or the reason they hope they can give a 20-year warranty is that we won't have to exercise it, right? And that's what we hope as well. We hope that this whole roof just holds. Flat roofs, snow, white color, actually a disadvantage with snow because it doesn't melt as fast. It can ice dam, you can get some problems, but you know, it's a good, seems like a fairly good price. And, you know, I would personally, I don't know the company, I would personally feel better with at least one other bid. And, you know, it'll probably go and confirm everything that you're saying, but, you know, not exactly knowing the project and not exactly knowing the cost of an individual flat roof, that would make me feel better personally.
Jim, can you send me Rick's phone number?
Sure.
Like I told you, I know him, but I don't have his phone number. It's in another database of a club that I belong to.
And I'm
So,
sorry.
okay.
The gentleman from the company that gave us the bid at 7,700?
Yeah, that's the owner of the company.
Okay. And is it the same company that gave the $6,800 number for the pitch roof?
The $8,000 number?
Or yeah, the $8,000 number, is that it? Sorry, I wrote it down wrong.
Yes,
Same company for both?
yes.
And when they bid it out, did they bid it out as if they were going to do it at the same time or two different time periods?
They gave two separate prices, so if Carl in fact does speak to them and we went ahead with both at the same time, then we should ask for something on that.
Yep,
Yeah, because they're there, they wouldn't have to make two separate trips. That's what I'm
and
thinking.
they don't have to come back, right?
Right,
They should
right.
be there. Yep.
Makes sense.
So in answer to Joe's question, the two issues that we're facing with, issue one, sounds like a McLaughlin report here. Issue one is that do we spend roughly $15,000 to fix both problems at the same time, or try to get a little less? Or do we fix issue two, is let the pitch roof not be fixed right now, but fix the flat roof, because that's the one that will cause us and our customers the biggest issue if we continue to let it leak. And what was the cost that we spent in there to fix the roof and to fix that bathroom up a little bit? We spent something in that, although I know that it was pretty cheap that we did it on, but we already
Yeah,
spent some money.
Materials and golf for the guys that did it,
Oh, so we bartered it a little bit.
Yeah,
a
maybe
little bit.
Okay,
500, 1,000.
I don't
Okay.
think it was more than $1,000.
Yeah, definitely not more than 1,000.
all right. So could I get a motion from somebody for us to vote, first of all, on repairing both roofs for the amount and appropriating roughly, Jim, what, about 15 grand?
Yeah, it shouldn't be more than, you can, if you've spent up to 15 grand, that would be a good idea to vote on.
Okay, so can I get somebody to make a motion that we put that on the table to vote on?
I'll make a motion.
Michael with the, it's
I
Michael
would-
DePaula with the motion to do
No, I
it.
object.
Second,
I object, sorry.
oh, go ahead, Joe.
Like I said, I would feel much more comfortable if we had multiple bids.
Okay,
I'm
All
not
right,
exactly
well.
sure why we're going with just one bid.
I can
that's
get
fine.
I can get a bid for a gentleman who's done a lot of work at Oak Hills for us already. So I can ask him if you like.
Well, so instead of delaying this and getting more bids, which we can, let's get a budget that we said that we're okay with. If we fix both, it's 15. And if we fix just one, it's 8. Are you okay with that, Joe?
We can, meaning Joe, meaning we still get another price. And if it's below, it's below. It's still below the approved price.
Well, it means we don't have to come back and have another meeting to vote on which
Right.
amount.
Correct.
As a not to exceed number.
Yeah, I would think the exceed number would not to exceed 15 for both and 8 grand for the solo.
And
Right.
pending, and we would put a caveat on there pending at
One
least
more bid.
two more bids to be presented back to the board, not necessarily to vote, but just so that we could all see what the different numbers came in at.
Sure. Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
think,
Jim can
Pat?
share the bid numbers. yeah.
Absolutely. Sure.
So Joe, are you okay with us doing that?
I will even make the motion, if only to clarify exactly what we're motioning.
All right,
Is
make
that
the
okay?
motion. Make the motion for us to buy the yacht.
Yes, exactly. I move that we authorize to spend not more than $15,000 to fix both the pitched and the flat roof on the old clubhouse, pending procurement and presenting to the board at least one additional bid.
Okay, do we have a second on that?
I second. Third,
Was that you, Babar?
and someone else.
Jennifer did, but I can see her. You're a shadow. Okay, so we have a second and we also have a third. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Anybody voting no? Any abstentions? So it looks like the motion is carried. Jim, how soon can you get the additional bids to just share with folks?
I can call somebody tomorrow and depending on their schedule, as soon as they come out, and I'll ask them to expedite it. So
Okay.
probably, hopefully by the end of the week, if I don't, get quarantined.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. So our next regularly scheduled meeting is the 18th. Is that correct? That's correct, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we should be able to get the 3 bids out to everybody. Not that we'll take up the 18th meeting time to do all of this, but we'll have the bids out to people well before that meeting anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think
Yes.
if you just shoot them out via email,
Yeah, that's all you
Yes.
got.
that's all we need.
okay.
Okay.
And it looks dry
Yep.
until Friday, so that's good.
Yeah, and
I'm
next
also-
week's supposed to be warmer. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Sounds good.
Mr. Babar, yeah, you made a motion to adjourn. Is that what you did?
Yes, I was just trying to get rid of the awkward silence.
Second.
Okay. Do we have a second for adjourn?
I
Second.
second.
Denise. All right. All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. No, nobody's voting no. And there's no abstentions. All right, good. Then we are done. So thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
folks.
Thank
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Okay, enjoy.
Good night.